Hello, my name is Joe Layden. I'm the town manager here in Upton. I'd like to take this opportunity to review with you what's coming up on the May 4th annual town meeting warrant and talk about the process that is annual town meeting. Town meeting is going to be held on Thursday, May 4th at 7 p.m. at the auditorium at Nipmuc Regional High School, located at 90 Pleasant Street. In preparing for town meeting, we recommend that everyone that's going to be attending, all the residents, review the Finance Committee report for fiscal year 24. This report, which is available online, contains all the information you need for participating at annual town meeting, including a message from the Finance Committee on the fiscal health for the town looking at FY24, down to line-by-line budget details for town departments and budget items. The report also includes the 2023 annual town meeting warrant, which consists of 37 articles for town meeting to consider. And lastly, it includes town organizational charts for boards and committees, as well as various town departments. Coming into town meeting, if this is going to be your first, there's a couple process items that I want to review. First is what's called the consent agenda. This is something that was implemented a couple years ago and is a way of streamlining town meeting process and the length of town meeting. So for articles that are rather repetitive in nature and rather straightforward, a town moderator will list out articles for consideration on the consent agenda. If anyone in attendance wants to question or debate one of those articles, just yell out "hold." And for all those other articles not held, we'll approve the consent agenda as one approval. And then the remaining articles that were held can be considered along with the other articles at town meeting warrant. Similarly, when we get to the budget, the town moderator will read out each department and budget item, and that gives an opportunity for people attending to speak out "hold" if they want to ask questions of a department budget or if they want to raise any debate on that budget. For items not held, town meeting will then approve those as a group, and then we'll go individually to those budget line items that were held. Now, getting into the town warrant, as I said, there's 37 articles, and I'm going to quickly go through them now. First, we have report of town officers and appointed committees. Article 2 is prior year bills, where we're going to be considering a prior year bill for the Upton Cable Department. Next, Article 3 seeks approval to pay for prior year stipends for some elected boards that did not get paid as part of FY24. Article 4 is the fiscal year 24 operating budget, and just had reviewed that process. That town meeting will approve the budget. Article 5 seeks the approval of the water department operating budget, basically the water enterprise fund that pays for operations of the water department. Article 6 seeks the approval of the wastewater enterprise funds, which funds the wastewater department for the next year. Article 7 approves the revolving funds for various departments, and that sets the amount that they can spend on an annual basis. Article 8 approves the use of cable franchise fees for Upton Cable to cover staff, capital improvements, and production of videos to go out on cable. Article 9 proposes to transfer from free cash an amount recommended by the town's financial policies, and Article 10 seeks to permission from town meeting to transfer $200,000 from free cash to a capital stabilization fund. Article 11 seeks approval to transfer from free cash $100,000 to OPEB, which is other post-employment benefits. This is something that is recommended by our town financial policy. Article 12 then seeks acceptance of state Chapter 90 funds for use on repairing and improving town roads. Article 13 seeks town meeting authorization to approve $280,000 in supplemental funds to help assist repair and reconstruct town roads. A portion of it is going to be paid under the operating budget, $100,000, and another amount, $180,000, is going to come from free cash. Article 14 seeks approval to cover any deficits in the snow and ice budget. Article 15 seeks approval to close a deficit that's within the waste and recycling budget line items. An additional appropriation is needed due to escalating trash and recycling costs. Article 16 seeks $5,000 to supplement the town's conservation fund, and Article 17A seeks to appropriate monies coming from CPA and local 10% match on CPA funds for the purposes of affordable housing, historic preservation, and open space and recreation. Article 17B seeks authorization to appropriate $15,000 to cover CPC administrative purposes. And Article 17C seeks authorization to pay for the bond for town hall renovation using CPC funds. This is the 10th payment for the bond that covered the repair and renovation of Upton Town Hall, and we have 10-year payments, 10 more payments that are left on that bond. Article 18 proposes to use CPC funds to pay for a new sign at the Heritage Park. Article 19 seeks to use CPC historic preservation funds to preserve and restore the exterior of the Grange building. This will allow for not only for re-roofing the building, but then also do exterior improvements to siding, windows, foundation, and stabilizing the exterior. Article 20 seeks approval for $25,000 to be used by the Historical Commission for historic preservation projects. In case there's something that comes up in an urgent manner, the Historical Commission would have funds available to use to preserve that building or take action on that. Article 21 seeks approval for the use of $120,000 from the Conservation Preservation Fund to design and construct a pedestrian bridge at the Robertson Family Conservation Restriction Area. This is to bridge a brook and to make sure that we can continue to complete our trail network within town. Article 22 requests $50,000 from free cash to fund repairs and replace the ADA accessible ramp that is at the police station. Article 23 requests $25,000 from free cash to cover consulting services to pay for peer review of Grafton Upton Railroad's expansion plans. Article 24 seeks approval to use $125,000 from free cash for the purchase of a 1-ton replacement dump truck to be used by DPW. Article 25 seeks approval to use free cash to pay for a replacement vehicle for the DPW director. Article 26 requests $150,000 for the purchase of a roadside mower tractor. Currently, town roads are mowed by a private contractor. However, those prices are escalating, and also because of issues last year, we were not able to have those roads mowed. and also the service only does select roads. It doesn't do all roads. So this will allow for this operation to be done in-house. Article 27 seeks $12,000 from free cash to pay for a replacement mower to be used by the Parks, Cemetery, and Forestry Division of DPW. Article 28 seeks approval for the use of $250,000 to refurbish the sand filtration system at the wastewater treatment plant. And Article 29 seeks approval to use $120,000 for refurbishment of vaults at the Pratt Hill water tank and to replace the ladder at the Pearl Street water tank. Article 30 seeks approval for $24,500 to purchase a scanner plotter to be used by the land use and code enforcement departments. They would also be used by other departments within town. Article 31 seeks $10,000 from free cash to allow the Board of Health to remain certified and to cover any costs associated with that certification process. Article 32 seeks $40,000 from free cash to allow for an update of the town's classification and compensation plan. The last plan was done back in 2015, and we need to update it to reflect current standards. And Article 33 seeks authorizations to appropriate $308 from rideshare revenue fees that are collected by the state to be used by towns for roadway and pedestrian improvements. Article 34 seeks town meeting's approval for amendments to the dog bylaw to specify what is considered under voice command. Article 35 seeks approval to increase the membership of the ZBA from 3 members to 5 members. And the last 2 articles are citizens petition articles. The first for seeking town meetings approval to restrict the use of the Ristine building to town uses, and 37 seeks to regulate 5G wireless facilities. Thank you for watching this annual town meeting preview. Should you have any questions, please reach out to the town manager's office. Hope to see you at town meeting on May 4th at Nipmuc High School at 7 p.m.